fellow resident gambling addict fan here, and I just bet it all on black and officially homeless. But what do you do when you're broke and you need money fast? Do you, maybe work a job, suck a few cocks, work up the corporate ladder? No. You go to a casino. So you've turned 18 or 19 or 21 or any other legal age to gamble in the world, and you've decided to go to a casino in order to feel the thrills you've never felt before. Well, unless you're running underground gambling, then you're getting arrested. Most people might hit the slots, play blackjack, or do some other mysterious card game that will put you in debt. Me personally, well, I play poker, specifically Texas Hold'em. The goal is simple: make the best hand possible. In Texas Hold'em, you put a certain amount of chips depending on your blind before given 2 cards to start. The blinds are like little blind, big blind, or the dealer. They're sort of to add a threshold so that you can't just keep folding and never losing your money. From there, the table will go around as people decide whether or not they want to fold, check, or bet. Folding gets you out of a hand, usually done in order to save yourself from losing more chips because your hand is bad. However, if your hand is good, you might want to bet in more chips in order to get more out of your opponent. You can also fake like you have a good hand, which is called bluffing. I'm all in. I call. Fuck you. Checking just means you pass your turn to the next player if nobody bet, and you don't want to fold just yet. While calling means you just match the bet of your opponent that they put out. After the first turn, the dealer engages into something called the flop, when they turn over 3 cards from the deck. Now your goal is to make the best hand out of the 3 cards and your own too. And I should probably explain what the best hands of poker are. So from worst to best, we have a high card, which goes 2 lowest to ace highest, a pair, which is just a pair of 2 cards, 2 pairs, which is pretty self-explanatory, 3 of a kind, which is 3 of the same card, a straight, which is just 5 cards in a row, such as 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, a flush, which is 5 cards of the same suit, a full house, which is a 3 of a kind and a pair combined, 4 of a kind, which is having 4 of the same card, a straight flush, which is a straight and flush combined. So imagine 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, except they're all the same suit. And last, and certainly the rarest, is the royal flush, which is having a straight of an ace, king, queen, jack, and 10, and have all of them be a same suit. It's happened to me once. Anyways, after the flop of 3 cards, you each take turns betting, folding, or checking before the dealer lays down another card. This is called the turn, and you'll once again take turns doing poker shit before hitting the river, aka the final card. In total, you'll have 7 cards to play with, and your goal is to make the best possible 5-card hand. All in. Call. Quad, so, what you got? Well, flush. Honey, we're gonna have to sell the house. Oh my god. Balatro is an indie game released in 2024, developed by Local Thunk, that became a huge success seemingly out of nowhere. Initially, I was kind of skeptical about this game. I mean, poker in the form of roguelike, I think I'm good losing everything I have in real life instead of a video game. But then, it got nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards, and if Jeff Keighley fucks with it, then I'm gonna fuck with it. So, I decided to give it a shot, almost completely blindly. I knew it involved poker and that was a roguelike, but other than that, I knew almost nothing. Nothing about the graphics, the aesthetic, hell, I didn't even know if there was a story to tell with this shit. So, went on sale by 10%, which isn't shit. I purchased the game, had a heart attack, received medical treatment, and I'm ready to start Balatro. So booting up the game, you can immediately see the art style of it. To me, it kind of reminds me of this like fortune teller aesthetic, combined with hallucinogenics. It's like if you were drunk out of your mind and you're walking in like the red light district and then you see in the corner of your eye a random fortune teller. It creates this vibe that puts you into a trance, and combine that with the psychedelic but still funky music and you can just get lost in the thick ass atmosphere alone. The music is also pretty interesting, as it's technically just one song, but this one song has 5 different variations. These variations transition seamlessly into each other at any time of the song, and it changes when you trigger certain events throughout the game, such as opening a tarot card pack or a planet card pack. It's kind of like the Tartarus theme from Persona 3, except actually good. The idea of a song that just is constantly evolving and changing depending on the situation in the game is such a cool and unique idea. I fuck with the vision. And just overall, the music is great. It just makes me excited about life. But how are the gambling mechanics of this game? In Balatro, the main goal is to progress through 8 antes, which are essentially levels, each with 3 different bosses. These bosses consist of a small blind, a big blind, and the final boss, which attaches a debuff to you. The way you beat these bosses is by playing poker hands. You're given a classic 52 card deck to start off with, and you can have 8 cards in one hand. If you don't like what you have in your hand, then you can discard up to 5 cards in that hand. But don't discard without thinking, because you only get a limited amount per boss fight. Once you are comfortable with your hand, you essentially play 5-card poker as you try to make the best 5-card hand, such as a flush or straight flush, whatever, you know what I mean. Once you play a hand, the cards that are in play give you chips, and the stronger hands will also give you a multiplier. Blue equals chips, while red equals multiplier, and each boss requires you to reach a certain amount of chips to win. And you get 4 hands to start off with, so you better cook with each hand, otherwise you will lose. And when you lose, well, you go all the way back, just like a roguelike. But much like an onion, it has layers. And these ones are juicy. So after beating a boss, you'll be rewarded cash, with bonus cash being given out for beating it with spare hands remaining. You'll then be thrusted into a shop where you can spend that cash on packs, cards, and vouchers. Cards can be separated into a handful of categories. These include planet cards, cards that upgrade your hands to give out more chips / multipliers, tarot cards, which include a myriad of buffs, which include turning cards into special variations or increasing your money. These are all single-use cards, and they can be helpful at molding out your deck into the image of your liking. Spectral cards give you more spectral buffs, usually involving destroying a card in your hand for better cards or special perks. Finally, the Joker cards, which are the equivalent of fucking your homie from the back. Joker cards make Balatro great, just like fucking your homie from the back, because of the insane shit that you can do with it. Every run, you can hold 5 Joker cards, sometimes more if you have certain buffs. You get Joker cards from either purchasing them directly or opening a pack. They come in a total of 4 rarities: common, uncommon, rares, and legendary. Generally, the higher the rating, the better the Joker card is, and some of these can be crazy. There was this legendary Joker where once you discard enough cards, the multiplier would be increased, and that shit was broken. But not all of them are just flat out broken. Some require you to actually build around them and, use some strategy. One of them will give you ×3 your multiplier if you've already played that hand in the round. So I just kept leveling up my pair hands and spammed them over and over and over again until I won. But this is just one of the more basic examples that I did, and they can get even better and wilder with just the amount of jokers you can use. I mean, the amount of chips you can get with some of these combos just makes sleeping at night a little more uncomfortable. And that's the main gameplay loop, and it's pretty fire. But if there's nothing rewarding you to keep playing, then why keep playing? Well, let me introduce you to these. They're called decks, motherfucker. If decks are the ingredients, then you are the chef in Balatro. Each deck offers a unique perk, some being good while others provide a different challenge. My personal favorite is probably the green deck, just because I like to spend money early on in the game, and this rewards that as it makes interest worthless. Oh yeah, interest. I didn't explain that. Essentially, the more money you hang on to, the more money you'll receive at the end of the round. It maxes out at $10, I believe, so there's no point in really saving past that. But back onto decks. There are many to choose from, so try to find the one that fits your playstyle the best, and roll with it, because shit gets harder with unlockable difficulties. These difficulties are called stakes, with the first one, the red stake, making it so that small blinds give you no money. The stakes after this have various effects, like reducing your discards and implementing jokers that can't be sold, or jokers that get debuffed. This only makes the game even more addicting, because I can't just beat the game 50 times on normal difficulty. I have to spend 100 more hours beating it once on every other difficulty. No wonder why I lost custody. Now, ever since launch, Balatro has received new updates, adding new content, mainly in the form of collabs with other games for new visual designs in the cards. And of course, they collabed with the coolest game ever, Among Us.
Just tab and look at the map.
I still, like, yeah,
I
I
didn't see
know,
shit,
but like,
though.
I still.
Also, we're set to receive a new update in the big 2025, which will be a major gameplay update and will be free for all owners. So, I gotta say, my sleep schedule will be cooked. And that's Balatro, a great fucking video game. The visuals, music, and addictive gameplay, they all put you in this trance that just makes you keep playing for what feels like an eternity. The unlockables are also pretty fun to, you know, keep chasing, so any completionists out there, this game's for you. To me, Balatro feels like a blessing straight out of the heavens to keep me from going insane over losing custody, and honestly, I gotta thank it for it. But yeah, Balatro is just, it's a wonder. I'll give it like 10 prime bottles out of 5. Anyways, make sure to like, subscribe, and make sure the bed bugs don't bite. Goodbye.
And scammer gets scammed, buddy. Never mind.
I'm gonna lose.